we need our music. Let's talk about.
Baby.
Oh, no. What?
All right, so I want to welcome everybody. Welcome. We are coming to you. We are live at 6 p.m. It's 3 p.m. where I am, Pacific Standard Time, and 6 p.m. Eastern. We're coming live to you from our PowHer Hour. PowHer Hour 2.0, Menopause Monday. I want to welcome everybody who's online here with us today. I am joining you from sunny San Diego. My co-hosts, Miss Lisa Griggs and Miss Renee Rand, are coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello.
And we have an amazing special guest with us this afternoon. I'm so not used to the time change here. Anyway, I want to make sure that everybody scan that QR code and come join our Facebook Power Through Menopause Facebook page. It's a safe space for women. Only women. Sorry, guys. You want to jump on and give us a call? We have an 800 number, 877-776-3985. Woo woo! So come on live, and we have amazing things that happen here on our live PowHer Hour 2.0, and someone's calling. I also want to say, I'm going to turn this over to Renee so she can tell you about our amazing giveaway.
All right. So we're working on giving away our next group of goodies. And that's going to be a romance package or a libido package to one of our winners. So we will let you know when the date is. And all the people that are live on our show will be qualified to win one of our prizes. So we're very excited about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to have a little extra fun next week on our show too. So plan on coming back next week and joining us on Monday. We're going to be talking about sex and menopause and talking about you. So we're excited about that.
Yep, they're going to be our guests. So you are going to be our special guests. So come join us next Monday, same place, same time as well. You know what? We have an amazing guest with us here today, Miss Angel Chandler. And I'm going to turn it over to my other co-host, Miss Lisa Griggs. Please tell us and welcome Miss Angel Chandler.
I know. I'm so excited. First of all, you look absolutely stunning.
Gorgeous.
Okay, I just say that. This beautiful smile, gorgeous blonde hair. I'm so I feel so honored to just be able to have you on the show today, be able to interview you, Angel. We met in Utah, and it was really such a desire in my heart to just seek you out and be like, I need to meet this woman. And I'm so blessed that we got to meet. And it was, just this mutual fire. We're both single moms. We both have had great success in the direct selling industry and in business. And obviously you're there in Canada, I'm in the US. But we've had similar parallels in life. And we also are both women of faith. And I think that we were able to kind of connect, just through kind of women, and just wanting to see women do well in life and just have success, however that looks to them. And, many times we are put in these roles because of culture and because of what culture kind of teaches us. But there's this bigger identity, to who we are. And I know you've written about that. You're an author, you're this powerhouse woman, dynamic speaker. And so, you just draw all this influence around you. And I don't know if there's anything else I'm missing, but I love your Empower Academy and just all the things that you guys are doing to help so many people just level up their game in life, and how your heart is so sincere and so pure and so genuine. And you just want to love on the entire planet. And I know we've kind of been sharing our license plate, finding, mission. I actually found some good ones today that I'm gonna tag you in my stories. But we are so excited to have you here. If there's anything I've missed, please just take it away. You have the floor today, my
goodness,
friend.
I am just so excited to be here with you. You look gorgeous. You are like so amazingly beautiful. Veronica, Renee, both, all of you, you look gorgeous. I am just so excited to be around this energy, to be honest. Like when we all met in Utah, like it's one thing to like know of people that you're working with or know of like people in the industry and stuff like that, but it's another thing to hang around you guys and like be face to face and be like, oh my God, I actually love you. You know, so it's just I'm just so excited to be here. I'm always on Zooms with guys and you know doing stuff like that. I'm just excited to be here tonight and hang out and have a great chat. And honestly, you ladies look gorgeous. Yeah, just thank you for having me here tonight. I've watched you guys and watched this and what you guys are doing here. I think it's such a huge major mission on what women need to be hearing about, women, men, everybody, right? We all need to be talking about this stuff. But yeah, you know I love you ladies, so I'm just ready for some fun tonight.
That
Well,
is so awesome.
questions for you. We have a lot of questions for you. I think
We
Veronica.
all have questions today for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I have to say, our topic today is working women in menopause. And you know what? We're all going through it, getting there to go through it, been to it, after it. So a lot of stuff goes on. And you know what? And I really got to say, you know, you're such an inspiration to me. You know, you're a dynamic, motivational speaker. You're the founder of Lion Pride Academy. You know, you were a legal professional and you turned a full-time network marketer. You know, so what's your support system like and how important is it to have one?
Whew. Well, you know what? My support system became my circle that I didn't know I needed, right? When I first like I was a legal professional, I was in finance, I did a whole bunch of different like I had a massive career before I got into like the entrepreneurial side of things. And what I learned once I became an entrepreneur, it was when I was at home, I had my second child, I just wanted to earn a little bit of money. And I was like, you know what? I want to earn some money. I'm going to start listening to some people that I've never listened to before. And they introduced me to a world that's like, who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you listening to? Who, like, what is the personal development you're into? And I'm like, what? What? I didn't know any of that existed. I was just doing my regular life, right? I didn't know there was a potential outside of what I was already living in. So when you ask about my support system, it got created through who I started to tune into. And sometimes those people didn't even know they existed in my world, right? Like it was like it could have been webinars, it could have been books, it could have been places that I was seeking for coaching. It didn't matter. My support system was what I was listening to. It was who I was tuning into. It was who I was letting feed me, what I was listening to, right? All of those things. So, but as that happened, my support system also got cut down, right? Because then I was cutting out people, relationships, friendships, things that didn't belong that were really hard to say, oh, wow, like this is a part of like cleaning the closet when you do personal development and all of that stuff. So yeah, so my support system now is it's really small. It's crazy because you think that people who are extroverted and do all these things, they're gonna have these like massive social circles and all these people. And it's like, no, my support system is so small. And it's so I really protect it, you know, like I'm really careful with who gets that spot in my life.
Yes.
And I know I see Lisa nodding because I know she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Because I often say this, my circle is a dot. And I'm so glad that you're getting up on this because we think that as extroverts, because all four of us ladies right here, and there's a lot of ladies on this Zoom right now that are in this room that I'm sure would agree with this. Our energy is so passionate. You know, I mean, that's Veronica's basically middle name. That's actually her first name. Little known fact. She's actually Passion Veronica Valentino. And Renee's our mentor, right? So Renee, like we cut our teeth on this industry with Renee because Renee's been in this industry over 50 years. And then Veronica and I over 30, right? So like there's over 100 years experience just between the three of us. Add you in, Like, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna re-sign up under you, girl. Like freaking out everybody at New Year Life. But anyway, with that said,
yes, now, right, let's go.
With that said, I think it's important what you're saying, because we think that, you know, Renee has this big circle and Veronica has this big circle, and it's just not true. Even though our energy is so large, our circles are like dots, and our energy is completely protected. Where we bring it, it has to be real. It has to be authentic. It has to be transparent. It has to be all the things that you're talking about. So I'm so glad that you said that, Veronica. What do you want to say to that? Because I think that's really important.
You know what? I just, I do. I'm very passionate about everything I do. And I'll tell you what, like I said, I've joined Angel Chandler and Paul Capozio on their calls and their trainings. And, you know, it has just built up such not that I'm not confident, I'm extremely confident, but it has just given you that extra inch, you know, that you need. And, you know,
You're breaking up, Veronica.
Yeah, we're losing her.
That's all right. I'm going to ask a question. Veronica, I'm going to butt in and ask a question. Where are you, Angel, in your menopause?
Go ahead. Yes.
Go ahead, Renee.
Okay, Angel, where are you in your menopause journey? Are you perimenopause? Are you just experiencing it? You know, where are you in that beginning part? Because
I'm in denial.
No. Most women around are in denial. I agree.
You know what? When I first started realizing that I had perimenopause, I really was in denial. I was like, I don't know why I'm sweating all night. I don't know why I'm having to I live in Winnipeg, Canada. Okay, guys, it's -40 here, which is the equivalent of -40 Fahrenheit. Like there is no difference between Celsius and Fahrenheit at that point. And I'm opening up the windows and I'm just like, oh God, just let me freaking breathe. And once I realized that, and then I found a product, right, that helped me with that, it was great. So where am I? I'm at the point where I'm in acceptance now. I'm in that second or third step of the perimenopause.
I love it. Well, how did that change though? How did menopause impact your daily energy or your focus?
Oh, it was awful.
And your productivity as a businesswoman?
It was awful at first, right? Like you don't even realize how angry it's making you. Like how much I was reactive instead of just being myself. I was always this happy-go-lucky, easygoing, like, hey, I'm so happy all the time person. And then I'm like, why don't I even like me anymore? How come I don't like me, right? So once I got a grip on it, and once I realized, okay, this is a journey I'm going through, this is something I need to work on. And I started to realize how much our hormones are impacting us, right? It affected my daily productivity so much because I was focusing more on the little things that I wanted to try to control, kids, all of that, COVID, all of the stuff that was going on during that time. And I'm like, okay, no, I need to get back to who is me? Who was I in my 20s, my 30s? Who did I feel like? I want to feel like that girl again, but I need to bring that into business. I need to bring that into what this age is now. I'm 46 now, right? So it's like, okay, how do I bring that person back into who I am, but also acknowledge the fact that we're going through this, but being able to connect with women who are like, hey, we're all going through this. It's almost like I was telling my daughter yesterday, I'm like, when you go through labor, I'm going to coach you through this because nobody tells you what labor's like, right? And that's what I feel like we go through with menopause. It's like, okay, nobody tells you what you're about to go through. And that's what that's where I'm at right now. So it's like, if we can all come together and have these conversations, I can hang out with amazing women like you, talk about this and be like, hey, sometimes I'm not okay.
Well, and I think by talking about it, we can help a lot of women that are going through this. You know, it's been such a stigma for so long to so many people. I mean, where our doctors don't even want to talk about it with us. So, you know, how are we supposed to find a community that will work with us? And that's why we've created this safe space. So we can talk about anything, make it a safe space and move forward because, you know, there's always a solution. If you can talk about it and you can come up with, you know, a solution for the situation, then you move forward. You know, we don't want to be stuck in a place where we can't do the things we want to do. We want to be able to do what's next. So, did you notice on those emotional changes? Did you notice maybe something that helped you get a little bit more grounded?
For me, it's a lot of meditation. It's a lot of connection with God.
Awesome.
Like it's a lot of just surrender, right? Like I had to surrender and be like, okay, this is just my life. This is just what I'm going through. I don't have a big circle, so I don't have a lot of people I'm reaching out to. So for sure, it absolutely it was, I mean, we're in the network marketing industry, obviously, right? So there was products, there's other people that, you know, I'm going to events in Toronto and you know, across Canada, and we're doing events and I'm hearing people share their results, and it's like, okay, you know, like we're making an impact, so that helps me, right?
Awesome.
It's like when you stay isolated and you think it's only you, or hey, I need to get through this myself, that's not a good feeling. When you can actually help other people through this and like bring them through this with you, that's huge. So for me, I think, you know, the biggest change has been just realizing it, like the evolution. I'm always about leveling up, right? If God is giving you challenges, he wants to level you up in some way. You got to pass that challenge. And that's what we're here to do, right? So it's like, okay, if I don't like this, how do I change it? But how do I change it? How do I let him change me? And
Uh,
so that's kind of really what my journey for the last 10 years has been, especially like I got divorced 10 years ago, right? So like that's been my whole journey, is just really seeking him and being like, okay, we're on this ride together, but I'm a mess, so you better hold my hand.
well, you know what? You may say you're a mess or you've been a mess or whatever, but you look dang good, girl, for your age. And I
Oh,
would
thank
have
you.
said you were in your early 30s at the most. At
Oh,
the most.
okay.
So, you know,
I'll
so
send you my check.
seriously. Lisa, I think Danny has a question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's praising God, I think. Danny, but
Okay, well,
unmute
that's
your
my glasses. You know,
question.
the 70-year-old eyes hasn't caught up with the rest of my
Yeah,
body
I think
yet.
she's just clapping. But I also want to say, you know, I love Angel that you said that, because we do grow in community, not isolation. It's actually the devil and the enemy that wants to try to isolate us. That's definitely not God. And so we do grow in community. And I also think it's beautiful that even though hotmess.com or whatever we want to call it, all of these parts of our journey, and Renee would agree with this because she's an incredible communicator, and she actually teaches people on how to communicate in relationships, because it's such a big part of, you know, keeping our relationships together, whether they're intimate relationships, business relationships, family relationships, is that we've got to understand that all of these situations and circumstances, trials, tribulations, they have all shaped the women that we are today.
Absolutely.
And everything that you've been through has shaped you as the woman that you are today. And I mean, gosh, this is just a phenomenal segment here. I want to ask you a question about, you mentioned, you know, your daughter, and you said, I'm going to teach you all the things they don't prepare us for. I too am 52, and I still am getting my cycle. You know, we always tease about it on this show. You know, I want to be that woman, you know, because I'm sort of in denial too, you know, that got to live to 100 years old and still have my monthly, you know, menstrual cycle. And I want to be that woman, you know, because I think there's like some part of like losing my femininity or something, you know, if I don't have that, I don't know. It's like some bizarre thing in my mind. But, you know, I'm a single mom like you are. And I guess my question is for you is, what do you think, like, if there's one word that your daughter, you know, would describe, or your children would describe of you, what do you think that would be?
Oh, perseverance.
I love it. What a great
If
answer.
it's not perseverance, it's faith. Perseverance or faith, one or the other. Like that's it. That's it. Right?
Yeah. Do you think that's so great? Do you think that, is it because of things they see, you know, in your home, or what would describe that? What would be an example? Can you give us an example of that?
Yeah, I think they just saw me always say that I was going to do stuff and then go out and do it. You know, when I went through the divorce, it was a really hard, we didn't have great years. Like there was a time I had $65 to go and feed them for 4 weeks. Like everything wasn't perfect, right?
Understand?
But they saw me persevere. They saw me be able to create a life for them where they never knew I was a single mom. Like they knew I was a single mom, but they didn't have to live that life, right? They didn't have to live a life of neglect. They didn't have to be, if they needed mom and they had to come home from school, if they needed mom and they had to, do anything, I was there all the time. So I think perseverance is one thing. And I think faith. I think just, always being like, guys, if it says in the Bible that he's going to feed the birds and take care of all of the animals, like he's going to take care of us. So we're just going to keep on going and we're going to build all of these amazing things and asking them about their dreams and all of that. Like I've always included them in everything that I did, right? It's like not just my dreams. What are your dreams? What do you want to do? What do you see as your future? How do I work with you towards this? So yeah, we're such a tight-knit group, And Lisa, I love you so much and like we've talked about stuff and like what you've gone through. I can't even imagine.
Being on welfare. And yeah, I love that you said that too, that our kids never knew, And I think sometimes, I mean, we kind of like, our AQ is so high as single mom, right? We learn to overcome and adapt very, very quickly. And I think that's what you're trying to say is you shop at whatever Goodwill. I remember taking my kids down to the Salvation Army and they were putting, I had no money, right? I was on welfare, but it would be fun to take them down to Salvation Army because they put putting skis on. And next thing I know, one of them's got a, helmet on and the other one's playing drums and, so, I mean, there's so many things that you can figure out without not a lot of money. And I love Veronica says that a lot, and that she, her family, and she's back on here now, that her family was rich in love, right? And rich in children.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that, as women, like that's a real testimony just to how good God is because he will take care of us. He will take care of us all the time. And we are divinely protected. Even man's rejection, is God's perfection. Even when man doesn't choose us, God chooses us, right? So it's like, I always see protection and whatever, it's like God, even in my season of welfare, and then becoming a millionaire in the direct selling industry. Like I have no college education, no perishable skills, and it's like, I love that it's such an equal playing field for women. Do you find that, I mean, your business is mostly made up of women and, maybe you could even speak about the community that you've surrounded yourself with, because I see a ton of women on this call and they're all here for you, girl. So if you could speak into their lives today, what would you want to share with them?
Absolutely. You know what? It's not just made of women. I allowed myself to bring the identity that I had in my career. So I came from banking, finance, mutual funds, a whole bunch of different stuff, the legal profession. I was in there for 15 years. I brought that into the direct selling industry.
Yeah.
So I came in with a little bit of a masculine energy. So I actually do have a lot of men in my business, right? Or men that I partner with. I mean, me and Paul, like we're a partnership, right? So I do attract women, but in a different way. It's more like, hey, it's not just about products. It's not just about, being the next thing on the next corner and the next woman selling something. It's about what are you doing and how are you speaking to people about business strategy, income strategies, global diversification, income diversification, all of that stuff. Let's be smart. Let's bring our actual business minds into this industry and talk about it that way, right? And once I partnered with Paul and was able to be like, hey, I can bring this person who I am into this industry, it was so different for me because before I was doing the products, the fitness, join my online program, all of that stuff, which is fun, but it's done. Right? Like you can find that anywhere you want to go find it. I like being a little bit different. I always like thinking ahead of the marketing game. where are we going? Where are we headed? What's the next 3-month strategy, 6-month strategy, a year from now strategy? Where are we going? What does it look like? What does the world look like? And I think that attracting women who have that business, that's why I'm on this call with you guys, right? Like it's just energy that we've all attracted. But it's a little bit different. So I think we can take the direct selling game and make it different for women. It doesn't need to be a home party. I'm going to tell all my girlfriends about this. Oh my gosh, let me, post this on my social media every single day. No, what does it look like to actually have intellectual conversations with business people who know that they need other income strategies? You're not just trusting your financial advisor anymore. And if you are, great. But what are you doing for yourself, right? So that's for me, just where for partnering with women with that higher level thinking, or who want that higher level thinking, maybe aren't there yet, but are looking for it or know they need it, or, taking the Angel 13 years ago who had no clue who she was. No clue that there was an actual potential, an entrepreneur in there, marketing, anything. I thought I was who I was. And I thought that that was the max of who I could be, right? So taking that woman and saying, hey, let me show you something else and let me take you to another level. And it may take her 13 years. I don't care. I'll partner with her, right? Like,
yeah, you know what? With all that being said, and I was going to say, if you could go back and give yourself, your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be? And who do you look up to as a mentor or a role model in this phase of your life?
God. It's always God. It's always going to be God. Yeah, if I could go back to myself, I would have said learn earlier.
Yeah.
Way earlier. Like I was 38 when I came in, right? Or what was it? No, 30, 34. I had my son. I'm so happy my children know this earlier than I did, right? I was able to, through what I learned, to be able to implement that into their mindset. They correct me so many times. So I'm like, oh, thank you, God, that at least they're learning this young. My daughter's 18. My son's about to turn 13, right? So they've already started to learn the things that I didn't even know until I was in my late 20s, right? So I would have just figured out a way to do it earlier and just been like, hey, don't have any fear. Fear for me, Outwitting the Devil. If anybody has not read that book yet, go and read it. Napoleon Hill. It is a book that I don't care if you believe in God or not. It eliminates your connection to fear. It allows you to understand that fear is literally the only thing that has control over us. It doesn't exist. We give power to it through our minds in saying that possibility exists, right? If it's not an actual fear, if we're not in actual danger, there is no fear.
Right.
There is nothing that is like actually causing us to feel that feeling. And for me, once I read that book, it was like, boom. So I guess I would go back and probably have read that book at an earlier age and just known that, the power we give to evil or what we think can control our lives is it doesn't exist. Unless we give.
I love that so much. Veronica, can I speak into that for a minute? Because I know
absolutely, go for it.
It reminds me of, because he is amazing, Napoleon Hill. Anything you read from him, I mean, it reminds me of like renewing the mind, right? And I know we have, we're talking about God. We're all faith-filled women here. Is that, in Romans 12 too, because it talks about not being conformed to the world, right? Which is, I mean, you turn on the news, and I know Renee doesn't watch the news. I don't either. It's because I call it fear porn. Okay, that's my name for it, fear porn. Because when you turn it on, you just start getting this propaganda, fear, 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 and perfect love casts out fear. So, God, when you said God is that's who I look to. Yeah, it makes sense because God is the best business partner. Like God is our business partner as women. And if you're single on this call, like I am, like Renee is, like Angel is, I'm saying single, like not married, that like we're married to God, and he is our business partner. He's our husband. Like we trust him. He says the naive become wise. When we do not conform to this world and our mind is transformed by the renewing of the word, and the word, which is living. It is really powerful. I mean, it can do some incredible things. You know, fear involves torment. And I love that you said that about fear, because that will cripple you and it doesn't need to. And even in Adam's 80-20, I mean, they tell you the very first thing that you do when you get up in the morning is you FTF, you face your fear. That means you figure it out. You write it down, literally. You write it down. What is the thing that I'm afraid to do today? Is it a conversation? Is it a call to the bank because I have to pay a bill? Is it a conversation with a family member? Whatever it is, you know, and it's very powerful when you face that fear at the beginning of your day, because then the rest of your day goes brilliantly, you know, goes much easier. So love that. I love that you said that. Well, I mean, Renee, do you have anything else?
Those were my questions that I had today, but I think Veronica has a few questions that she wanted to ask too.
I'm like very limited here because I didn't bring my laptop with me, and you know, it's just
well, when you're visiting,
I wrote my question on a napkin.
That's okay. We got you, girl. We got you. Let's hear those questions.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Have you ever turned your experience into part of your into part of your business mission or brand story?
Yeah. I think that, you know, it's funny because I worked for a few years as a branding strategist. Along my journey, I partnered with a top online marketer, and I was her branding strategist. And it's so funny. I would talk to people and they'd be like, I don't know what my brand is. I don't know what I need to do. And I would listen to their story, and then I would talk. It was always the same thing. Like, I almost got bored with it, right? It was like, your story is your brand. Your people that you want to attract are the people who are just like you. So it'd be that. So 100%. I wrote a course years ago. It was a women's empowerment course. It was so basic right back then. It's like 10 years ago. It's a women's empowerment course. But I took 90 women through all of the strategies that I'd implemented in my own mindset and what took me to that next level. So I was like, you know what? It was another God thing. I'm sorry, it's so much about God on here.
We love it.
So he was just like, sit down. I'm going to write out a course for you. So I was like, what? He wrote out 12 weeks of a course for me. I went through with these women. 90 women bought this course from me for $50 at the time. It was like just so ridiculous. But we went through a transformation. So yes, I've used that, and I use my story as the motivation for why people would want to work with me. Again, it's kind of transformed a little bit more into business, because I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm a business-minded person. I can't neglect that in what I do. I'm not so much a product person. I love the products that I have, but I'm not that product focused person, right? I'm not a customer gatherer. That's just not what I do. So I have to acknowledge the fact that I am business minded, that I like to grow businesses, that I like to help other people grow businesses. That's what fuels me. That's what I get up excited about in the morning. I don't get excited about products, right? Like I am, but I'm just not. So I needed to acknowledge that. So yes, I've taken that whole process through my journey and how I talk to people. And then I've had to come to realize that if they're not my people, that's okay. Right? Like if somebody doesn't like what I have to say, or what I'm doing, or my strategies, or the way I build, that's okay. They're just not my people. So yes, 100%. I think everything from day one to right now, it is a part of my brand, because I can relate to somebody, right? I can be like, hey, I was exactly like you 13 years ago, or hey, I was like you 5 years ago, or hey, I was like you last week, right? Hey, I just did a training. I did a training last week, and I was sharing with Peg, who was or is on this call. I was like, I did this strategy 2 years ago and it worked really well, but guess what? I didn't do it again. 2 years, 2 years I waited, right? So I'm honest with my people in the way that it's like, you know, I want to meet them where they're at. I can't be fake. I just can't. So yeah, everything I've done up until now comes into play The bank, the finances, the mutual funds, the paralegal, the legal stuff, all of it. It all comes into play because it's part of a conversation and having a relationship with people, right? And just being a woman and, you know, having conversations and just being like, hey, none of us are perfect every single day or have great attitudes every single day. And, you know, being able to meet your team and the people you're talking to from a place of like, we're all real. Let's not be fake.
Yeah, you know what I really respect, you know, the passion and everything like that, because I'll tell you what, it's infectious. And, you know, Renee always says, you know, whatever we focus on expands. And it's true, because you know what, I'm super passionate about things. I am very confident. I have a dominant type A personality. I talk to everybody who comes within 3 feet of me. People feel that as soon as I walk into a room, there she is. There's the one on TV. Well, you know, I said it's a podcast, but they know, and they appreciate it. And, you know, it's just building that. And I was going through some advertising things too last year, and, you know, thinking about brand, it's like, this is your avatar. I'm like, my avatar, like, oh, you know, you're 30 to 65, you know, the mother, the mom, the sports enthusiast with the kids and everything, and just building that and building it around that and gathering people more and more. And it's just being very authentic. And I love that about you. And, you know, you sharing that with us today, you know, which brings me to, you know, if you have any further thoughts on our PowHer Hour 2.0 today, please add them along. So, you know, you can take that away, Miss Angel Chandler, before we step off to talk about next week.
Well, I really appreciate being on here. I know I'm not a doctor, guys. I don't have all of the, the PhDs and stuff like that you have of people that have been on this call, but I do have the experience and I do have the years put in, and I do love you women so much. I think exactly what you just said right now, you know, your avatar, a lot of times when you look at who that needs to be, it's going to be you. Start with you, right? Start with who you can speak to, who you can reach down to. You can reach down to the Angels and the Renees and the Lisas and the Veronicas and the Kates and the Dannys and the, you know, Pigs. You can reach down to those people and just start there. Just have that be your avatar, right? For whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be direct sales. It doesn't need to be any of that. But it's like, if you're speaking out on your social media, that's who you need to be talking to and make it consistent. It needs to be a consistent message with a call to action for people all the time, because you're guiding people, right? If you've been called to something bigger and you're on this call today or you're watching this Zoom, it means that you do have a calling on your life. You have been appointed to something huger, like huger for other people, to lead them, to be able to say, okay, I don't know why I've been given this assignment, but I have, right? And you can just be like, I don't feel like I'm qualified, but guess who qualifies you? God qualifies you. He has said that you are the one that can do this, and you will be able to, and ask for wisdom, right? It's just every single day, ask for more wisdom. I love what Lisa said about, you know, what is the fear that I need to conquer today? I'm going to totally put that into my day every single day, because that's a huge one, right? What is the thing I'm the most fearful of every single day? We avoid that. We put it to the sideline. 100%. We're like, nope.
We don't even think about it. And we need to move it to the top.
Yes.
Right? It needs to be moved to the top of your day. So if you're keeping a calendar, you actually need to do that. And a lot of times it's just through conversation. It's mostly conversation. Right? Even this right here could be facing a fear. You know, there could be a lot that don't want to come on and get in front of the camera, but they have great information that needs to be shared with the world. You know, I hear it all the time. Well, I don't want to get in front of camera, but yeah, you have so much value to add to the lives of others. So just get over yourself.
Get
over yourself. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
When Facebook Live first came out, my hand was shaking so much on that first video. I felt so nervous. But I think I made $450 on that first Facebook Live, right? And that may not sound like a lot of money. It's not a ton, but it's money. Yeah. I sold a course and I was able to do. It's like we think we don't have that power. We think that people are watching us, and guess what? Everybody's up here, right?
100%.
Even if they're judging you, even if you have haters, even if people don't like you, who cares? If you move one person with one message, with one post, with one live, with one video, with coming on here and inviting somebody on here today, you've touched somebody's life today. That's huge.
Yeah, it's really such a big
Absolutely.
deal. Such a big deal. Go
That's
ahead,
awesome.
Veronica.
Renee, do you have any final thoughts?
I don't believe what popped in my head, but what popped in my head when you were just talking, Angel, was I used to teach women how to eat fire.
Yes.
Because
Oh.
Veronica, Lisa, I'm not sure if you were ever in one of those classes,
I was.
but I ran across my torches the other day, and I thought, you know, it's time to ignite these torches and go back to teaching women how to eat fire. Now, I know there's ladies that are going to say, I'm having too many hot flashes right now. I don't want to eat fire. But a woman that can eat fire can do anything. And that's what the premise of the whole story was facing those fears and doing it anyway. And when we talk about, you know, giving it all to God and putting it up there and taking those fears out of the way of whatever we're doing and just make it happen, yeah, there's no consequences to not doing it. You know, you do it and then you go next, whatever happens next, you know, what you focus on expands, you know, your day starts with, you know, somebody asks you how you're doing. I'm perfect, fantastic, I'm awesome, or getting better all the time. Your past words and thoughts are things, and what we put out there comes back to us. So, Angel, I just appreciate your words today so very much because I know a lot to a lot to
Renee, we also broke the wood.
What's that?
We break it too. We go through the boards. Yes, breakthroughs.
I love it.
I want to thank everybody for being here today. We are going to be right back here next week, same place, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry about 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. And
we'll give away some goodies next week. We'll give away some goodies next week to everybody live on the show. We're going to have a drawing for some fun things because we're going to be talking about you.
Yes,
we're talking about sex and menopause. We are going to have a great fun time next week. So come back and join us. Bring all your friends. Let's get this all out there in the open and really have a good time.
Absolutely. Same place, same time. And special guest is you. Make sure you join us. I hope everybody has an amazing afternoon and evening. Thank you again. Thank you, Angel. It was amazing. I appreciate everybody. Have a great day, okay?
Awesome. Love you, Angel.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Did we stop live streaming, Gene?